Mega Mike the Movie Man, and today I got a mega movie plan. Today, I'm going to be ranking all the superhero movies live action that came out in 2021, from the worst to the best. So make sure you stick around to the end of the video for my favorite superhero movie that came out this year. So now, let's get started.
We have to go back to where it all started.
Where did you think I was all this time?
We have unfinished business.
At number 7 is going to be Black Widow. Even though I still enjoy this movie, there's just too many negatives that I had to put it at last place here. So even though Florence Pugh and the Red Guardian were great additions to this movie, added a lot of fun, it just felt like this was a very generic superhero movie. We've seen this all before, and then really bad villains. Taskmaster was such a disappointment, and then the other main villain, I don't even remember his name. That's why Black Widow has to be at the bottom of this list.
I say either, you say either, I say neither, and I say neither, neither. Let's call the whole thing off. Ta-da! Catch up.
Excuse me?
So at number 6 is going to be Venom 2. Wow, this should have been a lot better of a sequel. We should have already had the Lethal Protector established. But it goes back to the same parts of the old movie, with just having a oddball relationship between Venom and Eddie again. And even though their dialogue back and forth is fun and witty, it just feels too much of a repeat. And then when you get Carnage added to this movie, Carnage should have been an amazing, terrifying villain. But because it's PG-13, a lot of stuff was happening off screen. So we didn't really get a lot of Carnage from Carnage. That's why Venom 2 is lower on this list.
Thank you for this.
Oh, you're welcome.
So now that Captain Rogers and Iron Man are both gone, who do you think's gonna lead the Avengers?
I could lead them.
Now, at number 5 is going to be The Eternals. This movie tried to do a lot here, and some of the stuff it succeeded in. I thought by introducing so many new characters, they actually brought a lot of fun different personalities and powers into the MCU that we haven't seen before. But with introducing so many characters, well, some of them aren't going to be fully developed, and some of them are going to be a little bit more forgettable. So even though there's some standout heroes here, there's also some ones that just fall a little bit short. And then the overall plot of this movie was such a heavy focus on the deviant villains, and then it ends up being a red herring where the deviants really aren't the main villain at all. Wow, that just felt like a waste of a lot of the movie. And it just felt like this movie was so grand in scope that it kind of diminishes the other things happening in some of the other smaller Marvel movies. And this movie was just so way different just in how it was filmed and in tone from the other Marvel movies that it just doesn't fully fit that Marvel classic, reliable entertainment MCU DNA we've relied upon for so many years. So for that, it just gets a little bit lower on my list at that number 5 spot.
That spell where you wanted everyone to forget the Peter Parker Spider-Man. We started getting some visitors. From every universe.
So at number 4 is going to be Spider-Man No Way Home. Now, I know a lot of people love this movie. I just really like this movie. I was quite entertained by it. But to me, it's not the best Spider-Man movie by any means, not even close. Now, there's some really good parts to this movie. I felt like the beginning started off very strong and I was really enjoying it. But once we get to the middle part, it just starts to slow down a little bit, gets very dark in tone and in terms of lighting. So it just gets a little stale in the middle. And then some of the villains here are a complete waste, like Sandman and the Lizard are complete bench warmer villains and don't add a lot to the movie. At the end, it does pick up again, and I really like the ending sequence. It is fantastic to see all the Spider-Man together on screen. So the beginning's very strong, the ending's quite strong, but that middle part just brings it down a little bit for me, and I have to look at the movie as a complete package, so that's why it's not higher on my list.
Hundreds of thousands of other super beings on the other planets he's destroyed, right? And we have to assume he's won.
I don't care how many demons he's fought and how many hells. He's never fought us. Not us united.
Now, at number 3 is going to be Zack Snyder's Justice League. I was so amazed that we even got this movie this year. Wow, I'm so glad that the studio finally decided to back Snyder, and so we could really see his fleshed out vision of the Justice League. Now, this is a really long movie, and I feel like this movie is still way too long. Could have cut 30 to 40 minutes out of this movie, and it would have been an even better overall experience. But what this movie was able to do, upgrade all these characters, make us care about Cyborg, give Flash some more important action sequences to do, I think it makes that all the worth in this movie. And the movie just felt better tonally. I thought it was edited better, and it just flowed a lot more than the other movie. Now, it's not perfect, but it's such a big upgrade and so many fun, interesting sequences in this movie. Very entertaining movie.
Hopefully Harley's still alive.
No funny business, Colonel. These are dangerous people.
Team 2 is clear to go.
Fire on 3, 2.
What are you guys doing?
What?
We're here to save you.
You were gonna save me?
It was a really good plan, too.
Now, at number 2 is going to be the Suicide Squad. What James Gunn was able to do with this brand new set of characters was awesome. He introduced a lot of characters that gave us some new emotions and personalities and powers to the screen that we didn't have before. And we were able to connect to quite a few of them. And then also all the bonker action sequences in this movie were just a lot of fun. And then we didn't know what characters were going to live or die, and that made it a really suspenseful, exhilarating experience, just taking us on this complete wild ride of a movie. And the movie was never boring. It was fully entertaining throughout, just having a lot of fun with itself.
You are a product of all who came before you. The legacy of your family. You are your mother. And whether you like it or not, you are also your father.
I told my men they wouldn't be able to kill you if they tried. Glad I was right.
Now to get into my number 1 favorite superhero movie of this year, it's gonna have to be Shang-Chi. Wow, this movie was fantastic. Just how it is the best MCU origin story now, and how it made us care about characters we've never even heard of before. It just did such a great job being the most well-rounded, entertaining movie. It has some of the best martial art sequences I've ever seen in any movie. And just how these action sequences are filmed, the bus scene was amazing. And then just the comedic elements placed perfectly in this movie. A lot of great laugh out loud moments, and all the main characters had a great chemistry between each other, and so everybody was totally relatable. And then just the scenery in this movie and the cinematography just was so fantastical with all these different creatures they ended up utilizing in the movie. It just truly was a magical experience. And then we got the Mandarin correct. Wow, this movie was able to fix the biggest problem I had with any MCU movie in a long time, and that was the Mandarin was so awesome in this movie. Gave him the 10 rings of power, and how he utilized them was such a great addition to this movie that, wow, this movie is one of the best superhero movies of all time. Such a fun ride, totally a roller coaster experience from the beginning to the end. So amazing.
Is this what you wanted?
So that will do it for today's movie ranking all the superhero movies live action of 2021 from the worst to the best. Let me know in the comments below, what were your favorite superhero movies of the year? How does your ranking list look different than mine? Let's have those fun movie discussions down in the comments. Also, like the video, and if you're discovering my channel for the first time, make sure you subscribe right now. That way I get you all that future movie ranking, movie review, movie news, and movie haul content for the whole entire year. That way you don't miss any of that movie entertainment, because I post often. And this is Mega Mike the Movie Man out here reminding you to make every year a movie year.